Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be replacing this tool head with the Dragonburner and the Orbitool V8 extruder. So let's get into it. The first step is going to be removing the Voron tube and any of the wiring that we can. Okay, since we went ahead and removed this cable and the Voron tube, we're going to remove these two screws. Now we're going to flip it around. So we'll remove the rear hat here. And just to gain better access, we're going to remove these two brackets. This will allow us to remove this plate here. To remove the hot end, you need to remove this screw and that screw. So we'll go ahead and remove this cable. And then also remove this screw right in there. Okay, and I should just be able to remove the Hotend assembly. We'll go ahead and bring this over to the workbench. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and solder a little piece of wire between both of those. I have this three-piece wire. So I've stripped it, and I'm gonna tin these wires. Okay, so it's been tinned. Now I'm going to cut it where it needs to go. So the other side is level with the end of that pad. Now I'm going to strip that side. Okay, so there's those sides removed. I'm going to go ahead and just set this in my helping hand and tin the other side. Okay, just gonna add a little bit of flex. We're gonna go ahead and tap the soldering iron on here to attach it to the PCB. Looks like I actually need to tin these pads a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, now using some tweezers, I'm going to hold the wire in place. Just tap it. Okay, so here are those solder joints all done. Not the cleanest, but they should work. Now I'm going to cut about 8 inches of this to solder onto the other end. I'm doing 8 inches for now just to be conservative, so when I go to assemble it, I have enough. So we'll do the same. We'll tin the wire. And then on the board, we will tin these pads. First, a little bit of flux. To make it a little bit easier, I'm going to pull it out of the jig. The stripe side is going to be the 5 volts. So these tin pieces are a little long for my liking, looking at it there, so I'm just going to give it a little trim. Much better. Once again, a little bit of flux. It's actually moving around more than I thought, so I'm actually going to use my helping hands. Using the tweezers, I'll bend this back in. And there's that wired up. Okay, so now we're going to install the LEDs into this little carrier. Okay, so the first thing we actually have to do is install the Hotend fan. We will need to pull the fan wires out of that very carefully. Be careful not to pull it off of the board that's in there, that it's soldered onto. And this just be slid up from in here. So we get to push it back a little bit, and then that gets snapped in like that. Snake this wire through here. So I was actually able to push the wire back into that area like that to kind of hold it, and this will get pushed like that. Now we're going to add the neopixels. So they go in this direction like this. They get pushed all the way in to that part's flat there. The wire kind of gets snuck up like that. We're going to bend it around and push it through this opening here, which will allow it to lay flat here. Okay, so on this side, this fan's going to get pushed in here. That's that fan installed. One problem I have is these fans came with some glue already in them. So I'm going to have to work at trying to get that glue out. Okay, so the glue actually came out with just pulling on it very carefully. We're going to do the same here. Pull this one out of this. Just be careful we don't pull it out of that. Go ahead and keep this wire flat here. And then this is going to get snaked in like that. Everything keeps lining up, and then it slides into place. So those fans are here, and this fan is off to the side like that. Okay, so from this, all we're gonna need is the hot end. So we'll need to remove these zip ties and unscrew the heater and remove the thermistor. With all that removed, I should just be able to pull this out. Put this to the side. And this is what we're after. Okay, so we will now need to remove these 4 screws. Okay, so we're going to use the new mount here, like that, and we will reuse the same screws. So I'm going to start with pushing the screw through, and then I'll go ahead and just get this thread started. And I'll do the same with the remaining. That just helps to ensure that everything is aligned before you start tightening. Okay, so they're all there, so I'll go ahead and tighten. So I saw it going in slightly crooked, so I'm gonna go ahead to the other opposite corner. Okay, that's tight. Okay, so now we're gonna combine these two. So here's the hot end installed on that. Okay, we're going to attach this here with 2 M3 by 20 bolts. Okay, so I have a 35mm long piece of PTFE tubing that will get shoved in here. The square M3 nut goes in here, and then the orbiter will get set right on top here. Using 18mm long bolts, M3 bolts, those will get set in here like that and tightened. And this side will get the same. And due to reach, I'm going to be using a regular Allen key for this. Until snug. Okay, so we're going to utilize 2 M3 screws to secure the cross brace. Use caution to not over tighten these 2 screws, as you are just threading it straight into the plastic. So to help keep the wires out of the way, I'm going to cut off these little screw hole on each side of the fan. So the wires are going to lay kind of like this, and then you'll use the screw, or the 2 holes there for the zip tie. Same thing will happen over here. Something like that. Let's go ahead and push the zip ties in. Okay, so there's this side with all the wires. Okay, so there are the two wires. Go ahead and clip the zip ties. Okay, so we're gonna wire up this tool head. The first thing I'm going to plug in are these two leads here that go here. That is the heater. Okay, those are tight. Next is going to be the thermistor for the hot end, which goes to this connector here. This is the hot end fan. So this will get put right This is going to go to this 3-pin one, which means I'm going to need to take it out of this housing and get a different housing. Just like that, and this will get plugged in right here. RGB is going to be snaked this way, and then we're going to cut it probably about right here, and we are going to have to crimp that. And there is the finished crimp. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it to the other two. Okay, so here are the 3 crimps. As I said earlier, the white side is 5 volts, which means that's going to get on the left side here. Middle is signal. And the last one is ground. This is gonna get snaked around like that and plugged in right there. Okay, so now I'm going to wire up the 2 part cooling fans. These came with really long leads, so I'm gonna go ahead and just map out where I want these. I'm gonna cut them shorter. Do the same on the other side. It's gonna go about there. Do the same thing, crimp. Okay, so both of these are now crimped. We're gonna go ahead and put them on the housing. So pin 1, which is the left side here, is the 12 volts or 24 volts. And then ground is the other, pin 2. This is gonna get plugged in here. Like so. And this side is gonna get the same. Pin 1. Pin 2. Those are both in. This one will get plugged in. Right here. Okay, so this is the Orbiter 2 with the Orbitool O2 Toolboard all wired up with the Revo hot end. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video, we're going to be mounting this on the Voron 0.2, wiring up the Voron 0.2 to the tool board it came with, and then doing all of the configuration for this and getting our first print. So stay tuned.